Okay, so here we go. Hey, my name is Marty. This channel is called Shut Up and Record. I do gear testing comparisons. I occasionally will talk about the gear industry. I do stuff that interests me or stuff that isn't on YouTube already. I just don't have enough in me to care about trying to shill or promote or be sponsored or whatever. You know, I mean, I'd love to make some money because this is a zero money. I've had this channel for, I think I'm into my 8th year, and currently my actual real total for how much I've made from YouTube is $58. So I'm in it for that sweet YouTube cash, right? Just spread the word. That's all I care about, you know, like money. I never focused on money, and I got my dream studio, so whatever. But today I want to talk to you quickly about the Dayton audio. Is it Dayton audio or is it Dayton Pro audio? I should know that. B65's. These are little passive speakers. They had kind of a cult following of people who say, oh man, these are so much better than what they cost. You buy them from a website called Parts Express. Again, I have zero affiliation. They don't know I'm making this video. I've bought a lot of stuff from Parts Express. They don't know me. I don't know them. I'm getting nothing out of talking about them. You know, they're just awesome. Why would I want to gatekeep these speakers? I don't. So I'm sitting at my desk and I'm working. And a song, it's called, I think it's This Night Has Opened My Eyes by the Smiths, comes on. And all of a sudden there's this change and the bass is supposed to come in and I hear this terrible punch, like tape machine days. It sounds like they cut off the front end of the bass hit. And I'm like, wow, how have I never heard that? In all the many years of listening to this song, hundreds of times, you know, never noticed that. It's an interesting part of the song, and maybe your brain just kind of glosses over it. And I didn't really think that it was a speaker. So then I'm riding in the car later that day with my wife, and our car has a nice sound system in it. I said, oh, I got to show you something. I bet you've never heard this before. And I find the spot, and I show her it, and we can't really hear it. I know it's there, and I can barely tell it's there. At that moment, I realized, I think those Daytons are a lot more accurate than I really realized. Looking back, I've always had these moments where I've had a revelation about a song I've been listening to, but I never put two and two together. Well, here's the deal. Incredible accuracy. Incredible. These speakers are $80 a pair. You throw in, they're passive, so you throw in the little cheapo power amp that you can also buy from Parts Express, and you're at barely $100, $110, something like that, $120. I was just looking at the website. Maybe I'll be putting that stuff in the video as you're watching this, but mine are the older version. They have a yellow ribbon tweeter, and it's a kind of square. The new ones have a round dome, but it's still a ribbon. I'm sure the new ones sound awesome, but they're just absolute sleepers. If you want to spend a little bit of money and have your mind blown with a speaker, a performance that rivals some, you know, big speakers, would I replace my 9 audios? No. But could I make a record on those? I actually think I might be able to. That might be fun. Maybe I'll do that. But here's the other thing. They make a T65, which is a tower version, which has 2 of the 6-inch woofers and then the tweeter. I have a pair of those, and they sound awesome. I've never really done as critical listening as I now have been with those, but one thing when I say those, I mean the B65's. But one thing I do remember doing is when I first got them, I had a big empty live room and I set my chair in the middle and I just played with setting them in the stereo field, and it was incredible how accurate the stereo image was and how much I could they're cheap, they're light, they're not plastic, they're wood, but they're just, you know, they're a budget speaker that just, no. They could charge a lot more money for these speakers. And I just felt like you should know. Goodbye.